This is Momchilovtsi, a small Bulgarian village located in the Rhodope Mountains, with a population of around 1,200 people. Its citizens, even elderly, eagerly learn Mandarin. And every kid knows the greeting Ni Hao. In 2014, a Chinese reality show was filmed in the village, and every September, Chinese judges help to choose the most beautiful girl in the local beauty contest. In this video, you will learn what psychobiotics are, how one product affected the life of a small Bulgarian village, why the gut is the second brain, and those who stay with me till the end will learn the Bulgarian recipe of how to live 100 years. In 2008, a terrible scandal emerged in China. 16 infants in Gansu province were diagnosed with kidney stones. They all consumed powder baby formula produced by Sanlu Group. The investigation unveiled that their formula was contaminated with melamine, an industrial chemical used in plastic manufacture. The report stated that 300,000 children suffering from various health issues in total, and at least 6 babies died of acute poisoning. But the worst part was that in spring the same year, the company already carried out an internal investigation and knew about the contamination. Some local farmers and middleman suppliers added melamine deliberately to low-quality or diluted milk to boost the protein levels so it can pass the quality checks. The company was not eager to inform the authorities, and the press was also afraid to make it public, because in 2008 China hosted the Summer Olympic Games, and the headlines about thousands of poisoned babies would have damaged the country's reputation. Only after the event, the official disclosure finally happened. The company's CEO received a life sentence, and 2 persons directly involved in production and selling of melamine faced execution. And Sanlu Group went bankrupt in December 2008 and ceased to exist. The scandal undermined the credibility of all Chinese milk manufacturers. Foreign became a symbol for safe, and large Chinese food corporations urgently started to look for international collaborations. The representatives of Bright Dairy Corporation went to Bulgaria on a search trip in 2008, and as the media legend says, they came across Momchilovtsi, a village in the Rhodope Mountains, and were charmed by its beauty and the kindness of its people. But what they really hunted for was a famous Bulgarian yogurt, or as locals call it, sour milk, kiselo mleko, made with the famous lactic acid bacteria, Lactobacillus bulgaricus. It was discovered by Stamen Grigorov, a young Bulgarian scientist, in 1905. He graduated from the University of Geneva and worked there as an assistant professor of bacteriology. At the beginning of the 20th century, a lot of scientists focused on the causes of aging, and Grigorov gave the example of the long livers from his native village of Student Izvor, Tran region, who regularly consumed yogurt. His wife sent him to the lab a sample of local sour milk in a clay pot. After months of research, the scientists succeeded in isolating the rod-shaped lactic acid bacteria responsible for milk fermentation, and published his work in the prestigious Swiss medical journal, attracting the interest of the entire world scientific elite. His results were checked and confirmed by the Russian professor and a Nobel Prize winner Ilya Mechnikov, who believed that aging was due to chronic poisoning of the body by the metabolic products of intestinal microbes, and that these processes occurring in the gastrointestinal tract were the result of the diet. The discovery of Grigorov supported his thesis on the beneficial effect of lactic acid foods. He conducted his own research and proved that Bulgaria really was the country with the largest number of centenarians, And the reason for this was the Bulgarian diet, which was based largely on such lactic acid foods. He was fascinated by the Bulgarian lactic bacteria and drank sour milk every day throughout his life and even ate it in pure form. Further studies have revealed that in nature these bacteria can be found in the leaves of a snowdrop flower that also grows in Bulgaria. Thracians, who lived here around 2,500 years ago, shepherded sheep and kept their milk in sheepskin bottles. Milk got sour, but its expiration period got longer.
Their descendants, Bulgarians, improved the yogurt production technology.
This pot is called rukatka, and it looks shiny and beautiful outside, but inside it is unglazed. The pores in clay walls absorb moisture from milk, and milk becomes condensed. Then this moisture evaporates from the surface of the pot and has a cooling effect that results in low temperature fermentation. That is why yogurt is so smooth and has a fine texture.
In such a way, our bacteria has survived till the 20th century.
The official name Lactobacillus bulgaricus was given by the international scientific community in honor of the homeland of Stamen Grigorov.
And the one and only museum of yogurt with a large collection of rukatka opened in his village. But let's go back to the 21st century to the neighboring village.
Smart Chinese businessmen saw a great dairy product, colorful Momchilovtsi people, and after several visits, the corporation came out with a marketing strategy. The brand name would be Momchilovtsi. The package would depict a beautiful maiden in traditional dress holding the rukatka pot, and the slogan would say, "The miraculous secret of the village where people live a long life, Momchilovtsi."
遇见一位试着让牛奶变得更好喝的少女，她灵机一动。
The Chinese bought 60 strains of Bulgarian bacterium, which enabled the company to develop drinking yogurt for Chinese consumers. It's much easier to consume than the thicker stuff, and it doesn't need to be chilled either. Known in Chinese by the shorter name Mosiyan, it has become the top seller, available in most supermarkets, and its advertisements were on bus stops and on TV. To increase its sales, the company promoted not only its products, but also Bulgaria and Momchilovtsi village. In 2014, they filmed one season of a popular TV show called Survivor, where 7 Chinese celebrities lived and communicated with local families without a translator, and helped them do everyday chores and learned about their culture. A year later, in 2015, the Bulgarians launched an annual yogurt festival, held in the beginning of September, to attract more Chinese tourists. Local dairy producers showcased their products along with local arts, folklore, orchestra. It has turned into a long-lasting two-way cultural exchange. And a cherry on the cake is Miss Rhodope Beauty Contest. One of these gorgeous girls would be awarded as the yogurt queen, and in 2024 the prize was a trip to China. Both China and Bulgaria hit the jackpot in this collaboration, with Chinese tourists injecting millions of yuan into the local tourism, and the corporation making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling the yogurt in China and exporting it abroad. But the Chinese were not the first ones who thought of using the Bulgarian bacteria in their products. Over 50 years ago, Japan, after long negotiations with Bulgarian authorities, finally bought the precious little bacteria that they first saw at the 70s World Exposition held in Osaka. The Bulgarian pavilion with the traditional sour milk caught the eye of the representatives of Meiji Dairies Corporation, a large Japanese food company established in 1917 that had already produced and sold yogurt in Japan. But why were they so interested in a foreign product if Japanese yogurt was already in high demand? The answer is sweeteners. Most of the yogurt products at that time contained a lot of sweeteners and flavoring agents and were coagulated using gelatin or agar. It was called hard yogurt and sold in small bottles. The records showed that as many as 50,000 bottles were consumed in Tokyo alone per day. But whether it had any health benefits or it was just a sweet milk dessert, that's another question. Meiji wanted to launch a new line of plain yogurt, and when they tried their Bulgarian samples, they instantly liked their authentic taste and smooth texture. And followed by serious research, they selected the specific strains of bacteria that later received an official certification from the Japanese government as a positive influence on stomach health. Their marketing strategy was very similar to the Chinese, highlighting the old secret of a long life from a mysterious faraway country.
ヨーグルト足すフルーツ答えは
The new product was named Meiji Bulgaria Yogurt LB81. The company had to buy the license from the Bulgarian government to use their country's name, for which they've been paying a significant fee, around €1 million every year, and will continue to do so as the license has been extended till 2040. The yogurt contains two lactic acid bacteria, Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. They're like best friends, helping each other. The Bulgarian bacteria breaks milk proteins, creating the food for Streptococcus, and Streptococcus, in turn, stimulates the metabolism of its Bulgarian partner. Such synergy contributes to the creation of the yogurt with a homogeneous consistency and low acidity. It was not an immediate success, but over decades, as its health benefits were publicized more and more through the mass media and other means, Japanese started to consume plain yogurt on a regular basis, and the research has shown that Bulgarian yogurt was tolerated even by people with lactose sensitivity, because the bacteria transforms all lactose into lactic acid. Plus, the commercials with healthy-looking and beautiful top models enjoying Meiji Bulgaria yogurt did their part.
What's the secret? It's Meiji Bulgaria.
In 2015, the Japanese consumers poll stated that Meiji yogurt is more popular than Coca-Cola, and the annual sales were around $200 million.
Meiji Bulgaria yogurt.
What about other fermented dairy products such as Greek yogurt or Caucasian matsoni and kefir, Scandinavian skyr, Indian dahi, and many others from all over the world? If they don't contain the Bulgarian lactobacteria, does it make them less efficient or less healthy? The answer is, of course not. They're all excellent probiotics, which means that they are live organisms that help to maintain a healthy balance of gut microbiota, reducing the amount of harmful intestinal bacteria and helping beneficial bacteria. Over the last few years, the microbiome has been the most popular research topic. Recent studies have shown that probiotics stimulate the production of serotonin, the hormone of happiness, and have an impact on the intestine that is often referred to as the second brain. It contains 200 million neurons, forming enteric nervous system, and several billion intestinal bacteria. In addition, there is a continuous signal exchange with the brain through so-called the gut-brain axis. This bidirectional connection may be affected by changes in the population of gut microbiota or inflammatory processes. And the dysfunctional gut-brain axis may be associated with neuropsychiatric disorders. That's why nowadays many scientists think that there is a lot of potential benefits in using probiotics for the treatment of such disorders as chronic stress, anxiety, depression, and even autism, schizophrenia, and Alzheimer's disease. For this reason, such bacteria are called psychobiotics. Scientists continue studying anti-inflammatory and consequently tumor-inhibiting properties of lactic bacteria in relation to some types of cancer. Grigor and Mechnikov would be happy to see that 1 century later their work carries on. And as I promised, here's the Bulgarian recipe of a long life that you can easily make at home. Take 1 liter of cow milk, heat it up to near boiling and let it cool down to 40–45 degrees Celsius. This temperature is perfect for the fermentation process.
Add a yogurt starter. Can be a couple of tablespoons of plain yogurt from a supermarket or a powdered mix of lactic acid bacteria, including Lactobacillus bulgaricus. To maintain the temperature, cover the pot with towels or better use a thermos or an electric yogurt maker.
After 5 to 6 hours, put the container to the fridge and leave it overnight. Enjoy the taste and try to eat as much yogurt as Bulgarians do, at least 29 kilograms per year.